Hi everyone, I'm Ubish from the Freedom Geek team, and today I'm here with Michelle. Thank you so much for being here with us to share your time and experience. And well, to begin, can you tell us a little bit about you and your business?
Thanks, Zubish. Yep, my name's Michelle Cairns, and I'm based in Chester in the northwest of England. I'm a property investor and developer. I have a mixed portfolio of properties, including single lets, HMOs, which are houses of multiple occupation, house shares, and blocks of flats. I also work for Your Property Network magazine, which is a national property magazine for investors to learn how to grow their portfolio and educate themselves on different property matters. So I also have a letting side to the business called Feather Properties, and we look after the tenants in our portfolio there.
So, can you share us a little bit how has been working with your virtual assistant from the Philippines?
So we've had a really positive experience with working with a virtual assistant from the Philippines. And I had previously worked with assistants in a more ad hoc capacity on specific projects. But we worked with Freedom Geeks so that we could find somebody who was more of an assistant on an ongoing basis who could help us in the day-to-day managing of the business, which would help us to scale and grow the business further. So we worked with two virtual assistants now, and we've been so impressed with their dedication, their organization, their English skills. Just, they're really super friendly, easy to work with, and it's just been a brilliant success so far. So I can only speak really highly of them. Obviously, there's an element of everybody learning and growing together. And that's, there's a training period as well where you're trying to explain what you need to be done, and that training and coaching. And we're always learning, we're always tweaking and testing different softwares and systems so that we can improve and make the work more efficient and more enjoyable for everybody. So we've worked on different projects together. The day-to-day management of the business, for example, scheduling calls, looking at the calendar, replying to emails and managing the email system there. There is the advertising and social media. Now, I think it's important just to remember that one person, whether they're based in the Philippines or in the UK, it's unlikely that one person is going to have the skill set to do everything you want. So sometimes it's necessary to outsource a specific part. So, for example, if you want someone to build your website for you, you probably want a specialist in that, someone who's got lots of experience. So, but for sort of day-to-day admin, then working with an assistant is certainly revolutionized our business.
Sounds that you had a lot of things to do before, and now with your virtual assistant, it's much more productive. Can you tell us a little bit about which ones were the first tasks that you give to your virtual assistant to do?
Yeah, so the first task's keeping on track of communication. I'll call it communication because these days with social media, that if you are active on social media and you have a presence, what happens is that you get messages coming from all directions, and people want to, whether that's booking calls or following up or helping people, or whether there's tenants who are messaging, landlords. In my industry anyway, there seems to be a lot of incoming communication. So for me, the big one was around managing my schedule, managing my time, and making sure that when I booked an appointment with somebody, that I'm following up with them to confirm, to make sure that they've remembered, so it's not a waste of my time. And to schedule things, having flexibility and understanding goes a long way.
Did you have any concerns about working with someone that is, well, not even in your same time zone, not even in your country?
Sure. So obviously at the beginning, before I had worked with a virtual assistant on this sort of basis, where essentially a lot of the tasks that you'll give them to do, they need access to kind of personal data, not particularly sensitive. I'm not giving them access to my bank account or anything. It's just, it might be my social media. And yeah, I was a bit nervous about that beforehand because I thought, well, what if? But I think, most people are good people. We do what we can, whether it's somebody in the Philippines or someone in the UK, there's no difference. It's just about obviously doing the due diligence and the referencing that you guys do beforehand. It's just about kind of building that trust over time, just being mindful, being sensible. At the end of the day, you've got to feel comfortable with the person that you're working with.
How did you hear of virtual assistants in the first place?
So being in the property industry, I was aware of people who used, virtual assistant companies to hire virtual assistants. I knew there was lots of different ways of going about it. So I think at the beginning, it was speaking to people who already had experience with different companies and then deciding which one was the best route for me. I'd used Upwork and Fiverr.com before, so but I didn't find them very easy to use, very time consuming. I just heard word of mouth from property investors and came across Imogen from Freedom Geeks and decided to go with her.
That's great. Now that we are talking about the Freedom Geek, how did you find the process starting with your virtual assistant?
The process was very smooth and automated, as you'd expect. So that was great to see and very reassuring. So the process of the interview itself, I was able to interview a number of people. The first round we had 4 or 5, and then we decided to interview another few as well after that. So I think it's important to just make sure that you're comfortable. I remember one thing that Imogen said to me was, you'll just get a good feel, get a good vibe for somebody, and they should stand out. And if they don't, kind of move on and interview more people until you do. I think it's good to be clear on what you're looking for as well in the outset, and that really helps to choose.
In case that somebody here watching that is just starting with their VAs, what tips can you give them?
The first thing I would say is to make a list of everything that you're doing in your business. Have a look which ones that you enjoy, which ones you don't enjoy, and also which ones that you are not good at, because the likelihood is if you don't enjoy it and you're not good at it, you're probably putting it off. It becomes bigger than it is. It starts causing problems if you don't deal with certain aspects. So like I said at the beginning, we can't all be have all the skill sets for everything we need to do in the business. There's too many hats to wear. So look at those things that are repetitive tasks. Look at those things that are kind of simple admin, and then they're ideal for an assistant. So have a think about the expectations that you have.
Any advice to build a good relationship with your VA?
That's a great question. And I think whether it's a VA, a PA, a member of your team in the UK or wherever, I think the same principles apply in that, you show respect and flexibility and, being humble about where you're at, being transparent. Communication is really key, and find out what motivates them, what drives them, what they enjoy. It's a really good point. Just because they can do everything, doesn't necessarily mean that they should.
Did you have any pleasant surprise that you didn't expect of working with a VA?
Pleasant surprises. So one pleasant surprise is that our VA Jean, she's quite creative actually, which I didn't really expect from her. CV was very much on the management, on the admin side. So she was able to create in the investor world, we call it an investor pack. It's a PDF and it looks fantastic. It looks really professional. She has the Adobe package, and I think that was a real bonus for us, because that's something that we would have outsourced to someone on Fiverr, but actually she's been able to help us with that. So that's been fantastic. She's been able to do all sorts of creative things and make logos for us. That was a real bonus. So,
Do you have an estimated of hours that you are saving with your VA?
it's not just about the hours that are saved, because if I look at the timesheet of what Jean does when she works for us, some of the things that she spends the least amount of time on are most valuable to me. But those tasks were just a lot of headspace. I'd put them off and I'd be thinking, oh, I need to do that. And because it wasn't urgent, then it just get moved down. But actually now the big difference is I think I feel a lot freer in my mind to focus on the important tasks, and all of that kind of the detail is taken care of. Whereas that kind of detail can really interrupt your day. You're constantly thinking, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. So I think having more blocks of time available because other things are taken care of.
What do you love about working with your virtual assistant? It might be attitude, ethics, that they are fast. What will you say that you love about them?
What do I love about Jean? She's got a great attitude. She's really positive. And she's just so helpful, always trying to find ways to make things better. That's absolute gold for me. So I really enjoy working with her because she's very skilled. She's very skilled at what she does. So that makes life easier. She's very competent and organized. If there's something she doesn't understand, then she will say, and then we can work on it. And that's really important as well, because it's not just a new way of working for her, but also it's a completely new industry, and there's no way that I would expect her to understand everything about the UK property. So it's important, I think, that the communication goes both ways, which I feel like it is with Jean. I think there's just mutual respect, mutual appreciation for each other and how we both work. So.
If somebody here watching this is hesitant about hiring a VA, what would you tell them?
Find a virtual assistant where you're committing to a few hours and just get started. I think a lot of the time it's just the unknown that stops people. So they're just not sure how things are going to work. How are they going to pay them? How are they going to know that they're doing what they say they do? And the reality is it's so much easier than what you kind of create in your head. So I'd say just get started. I wish I had started years ago.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, again, for giving us your time, for sharing all of this. I'm sure that a lot of people watching this will appreciate this a lot. And do you want to share your social media, how they can find you in case that they want to reach out to you?
Sure, absolutely. So you can go to michellecairns.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Clubhouse these days, on Instagram. So just search my name, my photo, and I'll pop up. If you want to send me a direct message and let me know that you've found me from here, then that's always a bonus because I get lots of messages. So it'd be great to connect with people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle, again. And we really appreciate you for taking the time to do this.
Thanks very much.